Good evening, everyone. This is Nicole Robinson coming to you again with another episode of Meet the Mustangs. Today, I have the pleasure of talking to Johnnie Tobin, number 20 of the Connecticut Mustangs. How are you doing today, Johnny?
I'm great. I'm great.
That's good. So let me ask you something before we really start talking about anything that has to do with football. How are you handling yourself during this pandemic? This is a crazy time for a lot of people, and it's probably something we didn't expect that would ever happen in our lifetime. But how are you handling it? We're all handling, things differently because we're all being affected differently. But what's going on with it for you and your family?
Well, I mean, I guess you can't never say it's easy. Of course, everybody has a heart at this time, but you just gotta try to stay busy, try to stay well prepared as far as physically exercising, hydrated, stretching, and just trying to stay on top of your game. You got to do the best you can, and then it ain't also easy with kids as well. So.
Exactly. I know how that goes. So why don't you start with just telling me a little bit about yourself? Where you from, born and raised, and some of the things you like to do as a child.
Okay, I'm originally from Stamford, Connecticut. Um, I was there probably until I was 13-ish. I moved to a little town called Varnville, South Carolina. I played football there, and then I made my way to Greer, South Carolina, and I played a lot of football there. I ended up coming back to Connecticut as an adult because that's where most of my family is at, my mom and my dad and my siblings. And I played for a minor league team there. Uh, excuse me, correction. I played for a minor league team in South Carolina. That's where I won 2 championships. I ended up making my way back to Connecticut. There we go. And I played for a team there called the Bridgeport Gators. That's where I was introduced to minor league football in Connecticut. And then that's where I met actually most of my teammates that now play for the Mustangs, and who
Oh,
they
nice.
kind of recruited me to come to the Mustangs and play football. But as a child, it's pretty much like any other child. My dad's very, very, very competitive. So it kind of stuck to me, and I'm always a competitive person. I actually treat my son that same way. And football was on the top of my list as far as sports. But I also played wrestling, baseball, ran track, and but football has always been my first love, and I can't never get away from it.
I hear that. So, um, you played a lot of sports and stuff, and you said it was your first love. But when would you say you actually knew that it was your first love? Like when, because out of all the sports you mentioned, some people would say, I played football, but I like this other sport, and I only did football because it was something to do. But you said it's the top of your list. So when did you actually know that this was the sport that you loved out of every sport that you ever played?
Well, that's a great question. Me standing at 5'3", roughly 195 pounds. Obviously I'm not the giant, and in this sport, obviously size, speed, strength, that all matters. So a lot of the times I have people coming to me telling me I can't do this, I can't be this, or I can't run this. And I was always a person to try to prove doubters wrong, and always show that with preparation and hard work. Hey, look at me now, right?
Exactly.
So that's where I try to tend to hone, and it just more or less in this sport here, that's where I had a lot of doubters, so I kind of tend to stick to me, and I can't get away from it.
I hear that. So would you say that's primarily a reason? I know you said that you came and you played with some of the guys, like you met some of the guys when you played for Bridgeport, but would you say that pretty much primarily because you just feel like you love it and you want to prove something to people, that's why you're sticking with the semi-pro league, and that's why you tried out for the Mustangs also?
Um, eh, yeah, no. I tried out for the Mustangs because in South Carolina, I played with an organization called the Greenville Seminoles, and just like the Mustangs, I played against the Mustangs last year, and I see that the Mustangs was a very, very well ran organization, and and it felt like family over there. I liked the way they ran things, and I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to win championships again. I wanted to this. If you surround yourself with lower caliber talent, you can't you can't maximize your own talent. I believe that
Yes.
if you surround yourself with higher, great talent and people who work as hard as you and takes the game more serious, it will be contagious, and you too will make your game make you hold the game at a higher standard. If that makes any sense.
Yes, definitely makes sense. Like you, it's one of those things where, people always say speak stuff into existence and it shall happen. But if you surround yourself with people who are, don't want to do anything and just want to be lazy, you're going to become like those people. And if you surround yourself with the people who say, I'm a go-getter, we got to go do this, we got to go do that, it's going to motivate you to want to be more like the people that you're hanging around. So
Yes, ma'am.
I definitely understand what you're saying. And that's, honestly, that's a good way to put it, because a lot of people don't look at it like that. They just look at it like, okay, yeah, it's football, I like it, let's play. But you have to surround yourself with great people in order to have a great team.
That's
Um,
right.
and it's really good, because most of the guys that I have already interviewed, they, say the same thing. They like the way that the organization is run. They like the brotherhood of the players. So when that's something that you're looking to get into, um, and you notice that and you recognize it, then
Yes,
you'll
ma'am.
fit, you fit right in with all the players, no matter if you've known them for years or not.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, so you said this will be your first year playing on the Mustangs, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you actually been playing semi-pro in a semi-pro league, just period?
Woo. um, I started this when I was 18 years old. You know what they say? It's not nice to tell your age, so I'm not gonna tell you my age. So. But no, I'm pretty sure you know it already. But I played, if I was to guess, roughly 13 to 14 years now overall, as
Wow.
far as minor league is concerned. Yes, ma'am. I'm a seasoned vet in this.
Well, I heard that it's not nice to ask a woman her age. I didn't hear anything about a man, so you can tell your age.
Touche.
But so how long do you feel like you still have left in you to give to the semi-pro league?
Uh, I don't like to answer these kind of questions because it makes me a little think about me calling it quits. But if I was
Yeah.
to answer you honestly, I would say productive. I feel honestly, I have about 4 to 5 more years left.
Okay. That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, because there's like another player on the team. He is actually older than you, and he feels like he's in great shape. And he said, like, as long as his body is telling him that he's gonna go out there and play, he's gonna play. So I kind of just feel like, as long as you are able to get up there and do your best and do what you have to do, you can probably play for another 10 years.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
What position do you play for the team?
Well, that's a good question. That's an awesome question. Um, my first love that I know I can play is running back. I can
Okay.
play. I like to look at myself like a Swiss Army knife. I can play running back. I can play wide receiver, and I just now started tuning my defensive side of that football. I also play a little outside linebacker and defensive end as well.
Okay, cool. Nice. So you're very versatile on the field. So that's pretty good, because you're not going to get stagnant in one spot, and you can move in many different directions.
Yes, ma'am.
So wherever they need you, that's where you're that's where you are willing to go.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever it takes to let the team win.
I hear that. Um, so let me ask you, besides for the love of the sport, like, for because you have a passion for it, what else do you wish to get out of playing with the Mustangs?
Well, as you know now, I'm a little seasoned. So me going to play for the NFL or me going to school is kind of on its way out the door.
Hmm.
So if I was to say what am I getting out of it, I, I guess you just to say the brotherhood, the camaraderie, the 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 competitiveness of the sport. winning championships, the possibility of doing that, or the possibility of actually playing further. For instance, the Mustangs went and played nationals. You can go further in that. So I guess it's a little mixture of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Besides playing football and doing your regular job, and I know you mentioned that you have a son. So what other things occupy your time? Like what other hobbies do you have besides, the family and the football?
Um, I like to I'm a gamer. I like to play Madden. I like to play Call of Duty. I work out. I try to listen. I try to work out. um, and just spending quality time with my family. Right now, obviously, like you said, this pandemic has put a lot of people at home. They laid them off their jobs and stuff of that sort. So right now, I have really like nothing but time on my hands. So I look at it as a plus, though. I mean, I got to spend a lot of family time with my son, my daughters, my wife. So hey,
Yes, that's good. How old are your kids, if you don't mind me asking?
no, not at all. My son is 13. He'll be 14 in September. I have a daughter that's 12. She'll be 13 in December. My next daughter in line, she's really my stepdaughter, but I raised her since she was 1. She's 7. She'll be 8 in November. And I have a 1-year-old who will be 2 in January.
Wow. You have a
Yes, ma'am.
full house.
Yes, ma'am.
So where do you see yourself next when you decide that you no longer want to play football for whatever reason, and you need something to fulfill that void of football? What do you see yourself doing next?
I like to get into coaching. I like to coach. I coach my son up a little bit now as we speak. He's actually a good football player. Shocked me because he takes to playing a different position that I never played. So I like to work with him. I like to eventually coach when I get done with playing football.
Okay, cool. That'd be nice. It'd be really nice to take what you have on the field and, give it to your son or someone else and teach them how to play the game and guide them into the right way.
That's
Because sometimes it's, a lot of people want to coach that have never played football. And sometimes it's like you can't really coach the right way if you don't know everything about the game, if you haven't really, played and been on the field. So
right.
that's a good thing. My last question, or not even really question for you, is this statement. What would you like to add to this interview for anyone watching to know exactly who Johnnie Tobin is, um, and you would want them to know about you?
Uh, that I'm a go getter. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna work extremely hard. I'm gonna give you 120% of me until the last whistle. I believe on fairness. I believe on equality. I believe on treating everybody with respect and fairness. And I'll do all of that. I believe on in return. If I get all of that, and in return, you're gonna get all of me. I'm gonna give you everything I got, and I believe I can and will be a great asset to the Connecticut Mustangs.
There you guys have it, Mr. Johnnie Tobin. He said he will give you everything he has if you give him everything you have. I would like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit and do this interview with me. I greatly appreciate it. And this concludes another episode of Meet the Mustangs with Johnnie Tobin, number 20 of the Connecticut Mustangs.